Namaskar. Hello and welcome to P Guru's channel. I'm your host Sri Iyer. A slight delay in start today. Colonel Raina is with us now. Colonel Raina, Namaskar and welcome to P Guru's channel. How are you, sir?
Namaskar Shiriji, Namaskar everybody, and my apologies. I am the culprit.
Not at all, sir. You are a busy man. Your wisdom is sought out widely. Colonel Saab, I have first one doubt. 5 days is all it took Afghanistan to bring Pakistan to its knees. First thing that really piqued my curiosity is Afghanistan doesn't have an air force, and Pakistan was claiming that there were a lot of air raids on along the Duran line. Maybe you can start with this. How exactly can a country that does not have an air force inflict so much aerial damage?
Namaskar once again, Shiriji. 5 दिन, we took 4 days. Afghans have taken 5 days. So, Pakistan, we can see very clearly. As regards this area, see, in a conflict, there will always be rumors and then claims and propaganda and counterclaims. If you remember when Ukraine thing started, if you've been following, of course, you are following Western media, they've been writing of Russia every second day, which has not happened. Actually, the reverse is happening. Afghans have actually used drones. So technically, one may say, okay, the aerial attacks happened on Pakistani post, but there were only few. Now, who's giving Afghans those drones? Who's actually sitting as we talk in Kabul and helping people? That will come out someday. But Afghans did use drones. There was an attack which happened in a very important person inside Peshawar, I believe on second floor of a building, which was through a drone. So, like India surprised the world during Operation Sindoor by having 300 kilometers long kill. So Afghans are our brothers. They are also a civilizational country. So they also done their bit. So it's time for us to just sit and enjoy. But Pakistan has taken a beating, both on the battlefield and on the negotiation table. Pakistani foreign minister was made to say sorry to Afghans. And that's how the ceasefire happened.
So let's back up the thing a little bit. By the way, viewers, some of you are still celebrating Diwali, so happy Deepavali to all of you. Colonel Saab, again, happy Deepavali to you. My apologies for not being able to host it on Deepavali night because, there was so much cracker noise and things like that. Even yesterday night, even here, we had a lot of crackers. See, I live in a neighborhood with a lot of Indian American population. A lot of people were bursting crackers. By the way, I must tell you, Colonel Saab, firing crackers is banned in San Jose. The police can come and arrest you, but still people do it. So anyway, so get back to the point. Certainly, the response or a very rough, rugged response from Afghanistan came about because Afghanistan claimed that Pakistan encroached upon Afghan territory. I mean, give us a little bit, maybe where exactly did this happen? See, a lot of things are being hidden here. Because Pakistan's massive media machinery where they can, completely get their nose flattened, but they still say that, oh, I've got a plastic nose and look how beautiful my nose looks. Over to you, sir.
Sir, there are two ways of looking at this encroachment of Afghan land by Pakistanis. One is historical, which pertains to Duran line, which has never been accepted by whatever regime ever came to in power in Afghanistan after 47. None of them, neither the king, nor the Taliban, nor the Mujahideen, nor pro-US government, nobody ever accepted Duran line. So historically, a line which was drawn on paper and which divided the community, same community, and which was supposed to go once Britishers were to leave, and it continued. That is one big encroachment because if you look at even Maharaja Ranjit Singh, when we say that he went and he captured or he gave a beating to Afghans, he never went to Kabul. Sikh army never went to Kabul. Sikh army took on Peshawar. So that means Peshawar, that is only one of many evidences. Peshawar or today's KPK was basically Afghan area, Pashtun area. So that is history part. As regards the latest encroachment along this thing, Duran line. So Pakistan has time and again over last few years tried to erect fence the way we have done it along Indo-Pak border. So Pakistan were trying to erect fence, and every time they went there, Afghans said, you are encroaching into our land, And again, the logic is that this Duran line is running through our land, so you cannot build anything here. So whenever Pakistan tried to construct that wire obstacle, it was taken down by Afghans. In fact, Afghans used to take the wire and sell it in market somewhere in Kandahar or somewhere per kg rate. So basically, otherwise, if we are looking for a kind of operation where Pakistan army actually went across and captured their territory, that has not happened, not in recent years. This all everything falls back on Duran line issue, where whenever Pakistan tries to exert itself on so-called Pakistani territory, Afghans, whether Taliban otherwise, they don't accept. So Pakistan has not actually encroached in the recent years. They don't have wherewithal, they don't have guts to do that. Sir, what happens is you can do a lot of things along the border, like our line of control. It keeps changing. Even now, as we speak, certain things keep happening. For that, you need your rear area and logistic line, everything to be secured. If you look at Pakistan today and look at Pakistan not today, last couple of years, you will see the complete hinterland inside Pakistan is out of control. Whether in Baltistan, wherever they have border with Pakistan, Afghanistan, Baltistan, KPK, and now as we move up, so-called POJK. So this claim of encroaching actually pertains to Duran line, which they say is running through our heart. Not the recent ones, not that I am aware of, but I'm pretty confident it has not happened. G.
Thank you so much, sir. You mentioned upon other areas like Balochistan and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, and now we are also hearing POJK and Gilgit Baltistan also are having trouble. One of the interesting videos I saw was in Gilgit Baltistan. You know where there is the frontier road that joins that goes to China, but big gates, welcoming gates, and things like that. And what I noticed, what the locals were not allowing the Chinese to get back into Chinese territory. I can talk to us a little bit about what's going on in Gilgit Baltistan.
So that's Khunzare Pass, Shiriji.
Yes.
There they have Friendship Gate, and there are checkposts as it happens everywhere. So you have a checkpost short of it and checkpost other side. Now Pakistan, what they do before I come to Chinese, if you were to visit Gilgit Baltistan as a tourist coming from America, Indian, of course, they're not allowed. You have to pay a inner line visit fees in Islamabad. So your permit to visit Baltistan, the money part of it is taken by Punjabis in Pakistan in Islamabad. So you take the permit and you go to Gilgit Baltistan. So basically, like in India, when you come to Himachal and you get into places like Manali or Shimla, you have something like green tax. So that money is supposed to be charged from the two visitors and then used to maintain the greenery and ecosystem and keeping it clean and whatever. In this case, what is happening? The money being charged is being kept by Punjabis. So Gilgit Baltistan guys get nothing. That has been their outstanding, long-standing complaint that this is how they loot us. When you talk of Chinese, similarly, when they enter Khunzare Pass on the or so they are supposed to pay tax duty, the custom duty. That the whole thing goes into kitty of Pakistani Punjabis. Now, Gilgit Baltistani people say that we are technically, you tell us you are not part of Pakistan. In the Supreme Court of Pakistan, government gave a statement about a year and a half back saying that this is disputed territory and it's not part of Pakistan. So they say you're using our terrain, you're using our area, and you're using everything else which we have, including now you're creating pollution here, and you give us nothing, no compensation. Similar thing what Bloch have. Balochistan, what do they say? You take our gas, you take our mineral, you take gold, copper, everything, give us nothing, no royalty and no development. Same thing is, so they, for almost a month or so, about few months before Operation Sindoor, they had blocked this highway, Friendship Highway, saying that we will not allow any movement. We were all tracking what was happening, and then Sindoor came in suddenly, and possibly there's some understanding happened and it got mitigated. But now that problem is still lingering. Pakistan played a game in 1949. On 1st January, we had a ceasefire, ill-timed ceasefire, by which we gave away all the Gilgit-Baltistan and POJK to Pakistan. 2 months later, the person who was supposed to be the president of Azad Kashmir, Sardar Ibrahim, who was from Punch, he was invited by Pakistanis and they signed a deal. Now, deal was signed between Sardar Ibrahim, a minister without portfolio of Pakistan, and wherein they said that Gilgit Baltistan is no longer part of erstwhile Jammu and Kashmir. So, the southern part of POJK, which was named Azad Kashmir, they were promised you sign on this dotted line. So we will cut out Gilgit Baltistan, convert them into independent area like northern area as they call it, and we will give you all the rights which Pakistanis have. So as per that agreement, all these areas of Rawalakot, Muzaffarabad, Thithwal, which are under Pakistan occupation, these are supposed to enjoy the same rights as Pakistani enjoy, which never happened. But this treatment, the treaty which was signed, agreement which was signed, was kept secret for next 50 years. Because what we did in 2019, where we cut out Ladakh and gave it a UT status, Pakistani actually did it in 1949, but kept it as a secret. Why did they do that? Because this being so-called disputed area, like we had 370 in Jammu and Kashmir, similar kind of provisions were there in Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir. So in Azad Kashmir, as they call it, the POJK, lower POJK, no Pakistani can go and buy land. Nobody other than central government employees can go and live there. But in Gilgit Baltistan, which was basically a Shia area, it was 80% plus Shia domination in 1947. Pakistanis, by cutting off Gilgit Baltistan, then started sending Punjabis and Sunni Muslims from other parts of the country into Gilgit Baltistan. So today that 80-20, and when Shias were 80% plus, the others were like, there were few Pashtuns. There were Kalash tribes, the small little tribes which were there. Today what has happened is Shia Sunni population in Gilgit Baltistan has been doctored to 45% and then Pakistani government orchestrated a clash between two clans. And by the way, Gilgit Baltistan, the complete transport, all contractors, anything and everything where money can be made and can be made quickly, all of them are Sunnis from Pakistan who are now settled in Gilgit Baltistan. So Gilgit Baltistan doesn't produce crops to sustain so much of population which has come from outside, because it's arid land. It's like Ladakh, desert, high altitude desert. So they can only cultivate areas which are hugging streams and rivers, like it happens in Har Ladakh, and that with that they possibly could have sustained themselves. But when Pakistanis sent almost similar number of people into Gilgit Baltistan to take over the affairs there, so now they don't even have wheat to eat. That's why every time there's a time to harvest wheat, Pakistan is supposed to supply subsidized wheat to Gilgit Baltistan, which last 2 years Pakistan itself is not able to do it. So there's a protest every time. So protest in Gilgit Baltistan. And by the way, while Shias and Sunnis were made to fight each other, last year they reached a point of agreement. They said this Pakistan government is making fool of ourselves, so let's not fight among ourselves, let's fight Pakistan government. So they started this protest under something called Awami Action Committee, which is a district-wise committee, which has a Shia, Sunni, everybody together, and then they organize. So this year, the protest we saw in POJK, where Punjabi police was sent into places like Muzaffarabad and Plandri and Rawalakot and Bagh, where they got bashed up very badly. Videos came out. Now these protests are also being handled by Awami Action Committee. But this Awami Action Committee, Awami Action Committees in POJK are basically replica of the same model which they implemented in Gilgit Baltistan. So this is how protests in POJK, which don't come into news very often, or Gilgit Baltistan, which again don't come into news very often, are now against state of Pakistan. Here we need to be very cautious. Many people sitting in India then start dreaming that these people who are protesting against Pakistan, they actually want to come and join India. That is fooling ourselves, because during recent protests which happened in POJK, the leaders who were addressing rallies, they were calling us kafirs, abusing India, cursing us, and they were demanding independence from Pakistan and merger into state of Jammu and Kashmir. Now, this is a very subtle point which we need to understand. When they say we want to get rid of Pakistan and we want to join state of Jammu and Kashmir as it existed before 1947, basically what they're trying to say, they are trying to say that we'll have an independent Jammu and Kashmir. So these ripples and these undercurrents we need to understand, and people who are sitting outside and watching, I think they'll get what I'm trying to say. So that's why I always say that while POJK through a parliamentary resolution is part of India, it is our land. We should be very careful when it we tend to give into that rhetoric. Okay, hum POJK वापस ले लेंगे, we are going to take it back, and we need to think about 6 million people who live there, and most of them are they have no love lost for us Indians, and especially the lower part of POJK, they are all fundamentalist radicals. That is a place from where most of infiltrations used to happen, even happen today as we talk. All camps, training camps of Pakistani jihadis were set up in POJK. So these subtle issues, which if you don't really, you're not careful, you tend to get carried away. So this is what is happening in POJK, and against Pakistan, against China, but no real love for India. That's what we need to understand.
During Op Sindur or time leading up to it, the forward bunkers on the on the POJK side of the LOC, they were mostly vacated by Pakistanis, and India basically razed them to the ground. And I'm hearing again that now they are rebuilding, and these are the new bunkers are being built to be radar proof, meaning like they cannot be detected even by overhead radar. Is it at the same place or is it further inside POJK?
Sir, if you step back, line of control dynamics is such that if you step back, if you say, okay, instead of sitting right in front, I'll take 10 steps backwards and go on the rear hillock or something.
Correct.
Take it that you will find our bunker where your bunker used to be. This is how line of control dynamics works. It is flexible, and cross line of control raids, bat actions, capturing one bunker, destroying another is a part of life there. So they will not do this. And bunkers, we don't need radars to detect the bunkers. Line of control, if you go, you actually see there. It's called eyeball to eyeball deployment. So at places you are just 20-30 meters apart. So if somebody thinks that 20-meter thing is vulnerable, so I'll go 50 meters behind. So then you will see our bunker shifting 50 meters ahead or 20-30 meters ahead. So that they can't afford to do. But what they can do is, while maintaining the line in front intact, by rebuilding, repairing whatever has been blasted off by us, they can have a second tier, which in any case exists on both sides. You have a first tier which is manned 24/7, and you're trying to whatever you're trying to do to each other, and then you have second and third tiers. This is how deployment is on both sides. So some improvement, like before Operation Sindoor, Chinese were doing a lot of work in along line of control, all the communication setup, which you would have heard that now the terrorists who are in Jammu and Kashmir, especially in Parjori Punch area, who came in, their communication could not be intercepted because they were not speaking to each other. The new way of communication being used by terrorists is, if I am a terrorist and you are the other one, which you are not, of course. And so if I want to call you and we both are of us are sitting in same area, now we want to communicate. So my call or message will first go to Pakistan, to a Chinese monitoring station. That guy will send a message to you. So there's no direct communication between two terrorists sitting in same area. So by doing that, they basically make sure that your messages are not intercepted. Indian communication, because that is very highly coded system. So before Operation Sindoor, and more so before Pakistan went into lap of Asim Munir went and sat in lap of Trump. Yes. Chinese were not only doing layout of communication layout in along the line of control, they were constructing bunkers, they were constructing communication trenches. From one bunker to another bunker, you need to, when firing is on, you need some kind of cover to run along and give ammunition or message or whatever your lines get cut. After Munir had lunch with POTUS, and thereafter, Chinese have, it appears they've taken a step back. So whatever they were making or trying to make, it had a big Chinese hand. How much will America help Pakistan achieve what they were trying to achieve on line of control by kind of improving their defenses? I have my own doubts. But whatever it is, the first line of defenses, Pakistan can't afford to shift backwards. It just can't happen.
Thank you so much, sir. We have a few questions from our viewers. Now let's take them. Viewers, I hope you have liked this video. For some reason, the traffic isn't as much as I expected. Colonel Raina is a huge draw normally. So maybe some of you are still recovering from Deepavali. Please
No,
do
Deepavali
like
is
this
on.
video.
Deepavali is on today. In fact, I'm sitting close to line of control, and I wonder if you're getting the noises in the background. It's all non-stop. Last crackers are on.
Thank you, sir. So I hope you are liking this video. Samir Mittal ji, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. Sadar Charan Sparsh, thank you so much. Sushil Sharma ji, thank you for becoming YouTube member. Kumresh Anand, thank you for super sticker. Naresh wants to know, sir, do you think the current situation is an eyewash considering small earthquakes detected in Pakistan may be an indication of secret nuclear tests, or are they the Afghan damages?
These earthquakes were happening during Operation Sindoor. A lot of theories were floated around. And then somebody came with a very scientific explanation that trying to say that these had nothing to do with the nuclear test, but possibly underground work was going on, especially when they got hit in Nur Khan. So that when you don't have time and what you could do over years, when you know time available is only a couple of months or a few weeks, so you start blasting ground down below. So that was what was inferred that time. Now, what is happening today, I'm not aware, but one thing I'm very sure, and I've been advocating in many places, that we, instead of waiting for Pakistan to give us a trigger, since Operation Sindoor officially is on, we must hit when we want to hit. Because signs which are happening around us, Raksha Mantri saying that every inch of Pakistan is under, after the 800-kilometer BrahMos came out, our Chief Army Staff saying that it can happen anytime. Prime Minister was on a warship yesterday and he said something. So the indications are such that we are fully prepared. And my request to Government of India is that let's not get into the Gandhian mode of thinking. Now let Pakistan do something stupid, then we will take on. Because earthquakes or no earthquakes, the fact remains that every passing day which you let these Pakistanis do what they want to do, you are giving them time and space to do things which can be of consequence later. So without waiting for what Pakistan is going to do here inside India, we must hit. वो जवाबदारी and answering people and who's going to ask questions, that will take on later, because America doesn't bother, Israel doesn't bother, nobody bothers. Only we keep bothering about things which don't even exist today. If we are really rising as a global power, I think the initiative should lie with us. We should not be reacting. Operation Sindoor was a reaction, technically. Now that the pause is done, we have whatever we wanted. BrahMos that time was firing at 400 kilometers. Now our BrahMos is reaching 800 kilometers, which is a very technical issue, which is a very important thing, because Pakistan had taken their F-16s and parked them in just ahead of Gwadar. So to hit those guys there, we needed a longer range BrahMos, because BrahMos has that kind of accuracy. So those things have been done. Now I think we should be striking anytime. And whatever these things are coming out, they will sort it out.
Next question, Magnet Ranga wants to know, not a single war won, but lots of media adorn, a lot of medals adorn the Pak General's uniform. Do they have medals for losing too? Icing on the cake is the Asim Munir getting promoted after loss to Bharat in Operation Sindoor.
Yeah. Rangaji, you answer your question. If a guy who took the beating gets promoted, whatever reaction Pakistan could offer to India was done by Pakistani Air Force. So logically, if at all, the Chief of Army Air Staff should have been promoted. So he was given 1 year extension, and a losing army which got bashed badly, the bunkers were blown up, their targets were hit everywhere. As far as medals are concerned, you'll be surprised. Pakistan has a medal called Medal for Democracy. So rest you can imagine. Pakistani army wears a medal which is called Medal for Democracy. On democracy in Pakistan, I think there can't be a bigger joke. There's a medal which they had after our program where they called it, I mean, in their word, in their language, it means Medal for Resisting India. That India was about to attack during our program after a parliament attack. and we did something, so India didn't attack. So for that, they have a medal. The fact remains, India didn't attack because we didn't have wherewithal. Our army chief told Mr. Vajpayee that Vajpayee Saab said, do whatever you want to do to Pakistan. They said we cannot fight beyond 3 days. So that was our compulsion. So we didn't go to war after attack on Indian Parliament, but they created a medal for themselves. So in fact, Wikipedia will or net will give you very interesting names when you look at the medals which they wear. All self-acclaimed bravery.
Next one, please. Naresh wants to know what's happening in Myanmar.
Myanmar is again it's become a battleground where Chinese are being targeted by Americans, and some people there, they attacked one of our camps about 5 days back in northeast. So they were paid a visit a couple of nights ago. So that's how this is how new India, you could, if you want to call it, this is how it is, that you come and finger us, we'll give you back. But then attack on Dhaka airport also came from Myanmar. Arakan army, they blew up Russian nuclear reactor equipment worth about 1 billion. So a lot of things are happening that side. But main battle there is between US and China. Having thrown out China from Pakistan, CPEC, they've thrown out China from Nepal and Bangladesh. Americans now want to close the CMEC, the China-Myanmar Economic Corridor, and the pipeline which runs from Bay of Bengal and goes all the way into mainland China. So there China is being targeted, and Arakan army is now going to do that bit. So there's a flashpoint coming up in Myanmar, or we can say in Bay of Bengal, which is worrying for India.
Thank you so much, sir. And as always, viewers, please like and share our videos and also subscribe to our channel. And thank you all for your kind inquiry. Yes, I'm getting better. I'm not 100% back up. Sometimes my voice might quiver a little bit. Sometimes it might go low and high. It's one of those things, but it's just a matter of getting better. Colonel Saab, thank you so much. And I'm looking forward to seeing a Sengol on the backdrop of your drawing room, sir.
I am in a place where I'm very close to line of control today, Shiriji. So yeah, once I get back, you'll see it.
Yes,
and you must take care of yourself. I was in a remote area for a week, but I know you're not keeping well. I came to know, I think, Mr. Ranga's podcast that day. You must take care. You're precious.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Namaskar.
Namaskar.